Hello and welcome to day 27 of our Facebook Live Challenge. Money fear is real and how you change it. Today we're going to talk about one of the feminine money superpowers. How exciting is that? We're going to talk about the infallible GPS that we all have. Welcome, Nancy. And this infallible GPS is your intuition. Yes. So with your infallible GPS, also known as your intuition, it takes all the guesswork out of money making and decision making. Who wants that? Yeah, it's something that you all have. We all have it. We've always had it. We just may have lost touch with it. So, thank you, Debbie. You're so cute. So let's hop right in. So this intuition is always there. It's always been there. The question is, have you been connected to it? Have you been listening to it? Have you been trusting it? It's known by many names. So names like trust your gut, your inner voice, wisdom, women's intuition, your sixth sense. These are all words for the same concept that we're talking about here. I'm calling it your infallible GPS, your intuition. So, you've probably had experience where your intuition has tried to talk to you or has talked to you or communicated with you in some way. And what do you do when it does that? When you get that little voice that says things, what do you do? Like, for example, have you ever been walking or driving and you get this inner voice that says, oh, don't go down that way, go this way. And then later on you find out, oh, that road was closed or there was something bad happened over there. You didn't know exactly what that was, but your intuition told you, hey, let's avoid that. Let's do something else. Or let's see, I have another example for us. Have you ever been thinking about someone and they call? That's another one. Your intuition is giving you a heads up. Have you ever walked into a room and you get like the hair on your neck kind of stands up? You're like, ooh, something's happening. That's your intuition alerting you. So I have a very fun story to share with you about my intuition. And it happened last fall. So I was going with my boyfriend to a Sistine Chapel exhibit. They literally took the paintings of the Sistine Chapel, recreated them, put them on ceilings and walls at this place in Orange County. And so I was really excited about it. And it was a really hot day. And so I put some sandals on. I hadn't worn these sandals in a while, but I love them. I call them my Indian sandals. They have little doohickeys on them and fringe, and they're just so cute. So I was putting those on, and my intuition said, you need to bring some other shoes. And I'm like, no, I really like these shoes, and I haven't worn these shoes in a while, and this is the perfect day. I'm going to wear these shoes. And it said, okay, you can wear those shoes, but bring a different pair with you. You're going to need them. And I'm like, what is the big deal? I'm not going to be walking like hiking. So I made a little negotiation with my intuition. I said, you know what? If worse comes to worse, I have my gym bag in the car. I can put my flip-flops on. Well, guess what? So we drive over there, and I'm getting out of the car, and I take 2 steps, and plop, plop. The sole came off of those shoes. Don't you know? Oh my goodness. That's what it was trying to tell me. So I did have to put my flip-flops on before I even got 3 feet away from the car. So I'm sure we all have stories about that. But there's also, experiences that are, that go a little deeper. Like, for example, before I married my ex-husband now, I got an intuition that said, he's not the best for you. This is not right. You really shouldn't do this. Why are you doing this? And I rationalized it. And I, did all kinds of stories about, oh, this is going to be okay, this is going to be great, he really loves me, I really love him, wah, 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 wah. Well, guess what? The intuition was right. I should have listened. So if you have any stories like that, you don't have to share the whole story, but just put kind of the concept down with the hashtag gold in the comments. I'd love to hear, like ex-husband or this or that. So we're going to talk a little bit more. So your intuition, it reconnects you with your inner guidance, and it always knows the right thing for you to do or say or not to do at the right time for your highest and best self. It always knows that. So why wouldn't you just consult that? So really, what is it? It is your brain's ability to instinctively draw internal and external cues in making rapid decisions. That's kind of the technical explanation. But really, it's your unconscious mind talking to you. Yeah, it's got all this information, and it's tapped into energy as well. And it comes from originally a need to survive. Hello, here we are. We're back. We're always at this survival amygdala, activating the fight-flight response, right? So it also is it just so great to help you make decisions. Why? It's almost like a crystal ball. I mean, I don't want to say it's not that esoteric. It really is based in science and in energy. So you have this invaluable resource available. Why not use it? Especially since it's always got your back and is trying to help you and protect you and always wants the best for you. So we're going to flip back here. I'm going back and forth between two presentations. So, okay, another example of intuition. Last night, before I went on my walk, I had prepared some notes for today. And they weren't quite done, but I said, you know what, I'm just going to let it sit there, because this is how I operate. I kind of do a first draft, and then I let it sit, and then I let my unconscious mind and my intuition just kind of work on it. So I'm out starting my walk, and in comes the download. Hello. So thank God I had my phone, so I spoke in all of this download. So I had already prepared a presentation, but then I have all of this new information. So I'm kind of going back and forth between the two. So thank you, intuition. So the goal is to become BFFs with your intuition again. Like, why wouldn't you be a BFF? Like, hello, it's there. And you just need to reconnect with it and establish that, that relationship again. And so then you get back to the know, like, and trust your intuition. And then you can receive information from it, listen to it, trust it, and you can act on it as well. And you can do that with confidence, right? So the key to reestablishing it is to start practicing. It's kind of like building a muscle. You need to practice until you get the confidence. And some people that happens right away, others it takes a little bit longer, but just know that it's there. So once you get that practice going, then it becomes automatic. You don't even have to ask. Like, boom, it's just feeding you information with, what's the right thing to do, what's the best thing to do, when to do it, how to do it, all of those things. So if you're in a situation where you're resisting doing something or resisting receiving something, if there's some kind of resistance, like that inner struggle, that is a great time to consult your intuition, because there's something going on. So you can ask questions about what's going on and what is really in your best interest. So it will automatically, once you build this intuition muscle, it just automatically gives you feedback. It gives you input. It's just like slides it right in. You think you're thinking it, but it's actually just coming in. You could also be thinking, but it's also just this information coming into you. Very useful information. So you can ask questions You can ask questions about who, what, when, why, how, where. All these different questions. And the better quality your question, the better quality answer. So sometimes to get started, when you're asking your intuition questions, you want to start with some yes/no answers, because those are very simple and easy, and you get the swing of it really quickly. And then you start asking more open-ended questions that could give you even more information than a yes/no. So what do you want to know? Like, I'm asking you really, what do you want to know? You can put that in the comments, and then as we go through our resource today, we'll ask yourself that. You'll ask yourself that, and then we'll see what the answer is. So what would be helpful to know? Like, what would you want to know? Yeah. So when you need to make a choice, this is another great time to consult your intuition. Like, is this better for me, or is that better for me? And then you could ask more questions like, is that better for me right now? Because it might be better in the long term. Or is there a better option? Maybe an option you don't know. That's one of my favorite ones. Is there a better option? Is there something else that I need to know before making this decision or before doing this? Yeah, very good questions. Here, Debbie's saying, interesting thought. How does the battle between my inner "you are not worthy" demons versus the little voice? Yes, excellent questions. There can be some of those internal conflicts. Those are typically parts, but they can also be false beliefs. But when you have that inner conflict, how do you know what's the belief versus the little voice? And really, the best way to do that is to practice with your intuition, and then you'll just know. Your intuition will go, you know what, that belief, that's kind of silly, that's not right, that's wrong. Here's the truth right here. I'm going to feed you the truth. We talked about that. All right, so we're going to go into some sample questions. Oh, Debbie, I love your comments, Debbie. Thank you. Debbie says, #gold. What matters most is good questions. My father always said good questions are more important than what appear to be good answers. Absolutely. When I worked for a military contractor, and I was running multi-billion-dollar programs, one in particular was $3.7 billion program, and I would go back to the Pentagon and speak to the generals there to give them status on their programs. You know, are they on schedule? Are they on budget? You know, are there any problems? So we would put together these very elaborate cost estimates, 3.7 billion. We'd be rounding off hundreds of millions of dollars. At first I got heart palpitations when I did that, but then I got used to it. I'm like, okay, it really is just a rounding, insignificant rounding. So my point is that when I would go to the general, he didn't look at the numbers right away. He said, the numbers don't mean anything to me until I see the assumptions that you made. And that is the same as what we're talking about here. The questions you ask, that's what really matters. Oh, Nancy says, I always want to know what direction to put my efforts in. Yes, well, now you're going to have this invaluable tool, your infallible GPS. Oh, Nancy's screen is frozen. Jeez, I hope she get back. Come on back, Nancy. So here's some sample questions. Hi, Anne. Welcome. Some sample questions to ask your intuition. This is just to help you kind of get the ball rolling. So who can help me with fill in the blank? What do I need for blank? Does this accomplish my objective? Is this the fastest path? Is this the best path? Is there something else that's better or different? Is this in my best interest? Yeah, Anne says, what if you don't hear anything? Well, that's because you haven't trained your intuition. You haven't gotten back reconnected to it, which is what we're going to do today. So you'll be hearing it now, for sure. Is it in my best interest? What is in my best interest now? I'm just giving you guys a lot of examples to just get your unconscious mind going, oh, that's new. She wants to talk to me now. Or he wants to talk to me. Okay. Looks like somebody wants to come out and play. Let's see. Here's one of my favorites. What else do I need to know? Would it be helpful to know? What else would be helpful to know? That's just another way to say it. So now let's ask some other questions that are more specific to business, although those can be business also. Is this the right next move for me and my business? Here's a very specific one. Should I do a Facebook ad or should I do a chatterbox campaign? Should I do this or should I do that? You can ask those questions. And should, actually, that's not the best example. Is it better for me to do a Facebook ad or is it better for me to do this chatterbox campaign at this moment? You can ask for future too, but if you're looking for guidance right now, then ask for now. But you can ask for the future. Which one would be the best for me now? That's a good one. What options would be the most productive, lucrative, whatever it is that you're looking for, your objective? What's more important? This or that or something else? You want to kind of get as open-ended as you can, because guess what? You don't always know everything. You know, you might think you have these 2 options or these 3 options, and then when you consult your intuition, you find out, oh, there was something I didn't even think about. You know, it's a blind spot. So I get that all the time. I'm like, oh, that's better. Oh, I want that one. I want the Rocky Road. I thought I could only have vanilla or chocolate. I'd rather have Rocky Road. Oh, yeah, you can also ask questions about like what you should stay away from. Like, should I stay away from this option? Should I stay away from that person or that thing, whatever it is? Excuse me, I'm going to have a cough. Okay. Oh, Debbie, thank you for typing those out for everyone. You are a gem yourself. Welcome, David. So we're talking about questions to ask your intuition to get the information that you need. So I'm going to come back now, full circle. We started off talking about, what do you need to know? What do you want to know? Maybe you can write that down, because as we're going to practically go through an exercise right now to get in touch with our intuition, and then you'll want those questions handy. So maybe write down 2 or 3 questions. I'm sure there'll be more coming, and it makes it easy for you. So let me just pop over here. I'm going to pop over. So, yeah. So your questions we're going to start out with when we do our exercise are going to be yes, no. And then we're going to go into other questions. So they could be open-ended, fill in the blank, multiple choice, those types of things. All right. So are we ready? All right, get in a comfortable seated position or lying down. You can do either one. If you're driving a car, this is not the time to do this. You'd want to stay away from this. And we're going to get started. So to get in touch with your intuition, it is so simple, so easy peasy. You're going to go, oh my goodness, I didn't know that was all it was. So I'm going to ask you some questions. And what I want you to notice is that the answer is just popped right up for you. There is no criticizing, there's no analyzing, there's no judgment, there's no waffling, there's no censorship. The answer is just ping, like a toast popping up or a Pop-Tart popping up. I know Anne likes Pop-Tarts. Yeah. So Are you ready? I'm going to ask these questions. You're just going to know how easily and readily those answers are getting bubbled up from your unconscious. What is your name? Easy, right? Like, no thought required. That's the thing you want to know, is no thoughts are required whatsoever here. If you are thinking, you're not using your intuition. They are polar opposites here. All right. I'm going to ask you another question, and you're going to notice how it pops up like a Pop-Tart. Where do you live? What's your birthday? What's your favorite flavor of ice cream? What's your favorite food? All right. So put in the comments for me how easy that was for you. Like, those should just be like boom, 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 right? Very, very fast, very accessible, just right there. Now we're going to go on to some more advanced questions. So this is where you come in with whatever questions you want to know. Or I can ask some. So let me know if you want me to ask you some questions or if you want to use specific questions for you. This is where it gets a little bit challenging in a group. I mean, of course I can ask questions, but it might not be the questions that you want to know. All right, Anne's saying so easy, right? So Anne, are you getting the feel of how different this is than what you were saying earlier? Good. All right, so where do you live was actually tricky. I love it. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so Anne says she wants me to ask some questions. Okay, so I will make up some questions to get you started, because sometimes we got to get the cobwebs out and get those chipmunks running again. Let's get them back. All right, so okay, I'm assuming we're all in business here. What is the next best thing for you to do in your business right now? And just see what it says. If by some chance the questions start coming up, or the analyzing, the judging, then you know that you are not in touch with your unconscious mind. You know that your conscious mind has come in and is trying to hijack you. You know, which it's used to running the show. So now we need to just send her or him, your conscious mind, on vacation somewhere. Where would he or she like to go? I like to send mine to the beach in Hawaii, my favorite spot. So send that part of you there, and then we're going to come back here and we're going to re-ask the question. What is the next best move for me in my business? You could also ask, like, for example, if you were looking at different products, what price is the best price for this? Like, and you can use best, but sometimes you want to get a little more finite. Like, what is the price for which I will reach the most people, for the price that will be the easiest for me to give this, the one that I will feel the best and do my best to deliver this program or this price? You know, questions like that. I think you're getting, I think you're getting the idea. So just see, how is that coming up? Let me know in the chat, folks. How is it? Is it coming up? Is it bubbling up like your name? Like your birthday? It should just pop in. If it's not, you just need to keep working. Okay, Debbie. Woohoo! Debbie gets 2,500 gold stars today. Hers came out with, wow, $7,000. That's what her unconscious mind told her. Her intuition said $7,000 to charge for her program. And she's saying that was unsettling. Well, yeah, it's not what you've been telling yourself. It's not the stories that you've been under the influence of. In the stories being, our experiences and conclusions that we've drawn from them, really, more than the experiences themselves. It's the conclusions that we've drawn from them. It's the limiting decisions that we've made. Like we've decided that things are like this. Well, in fact, they're really like something else, but we've decided that they're like this. So in our mind, that's the way it is. And in our world, that's what manifests. So maybe in your mind, you've been limiting yourself because your unconscious mind and your intuition, there's no limits whatsoever. This is perfect world for you. What you need, what's in your best interest, it is just going to serve it up to you. Now, whether you act on it or not is up to you. So I'm going to tell you a little story because I think you'll like it. So I was in corporate America. I know I tell a lot of stories about that, but there are some gold mines in the stories for that. And, I was working way too much. I was having a lot of health problems. I was having challenges with my husband at the time. Like, we'd been to marriage counseling. That really wasn't going anywhere. That wasn't going to work. So we stopped that. And I was super stressed out. And I'm like, oh my God. So I was spinning my wheels for about probably close to 3 years, just miserable and just going down and down and down. Now, I wished I had the knowledge that we're talking about here today and the skill to tap into my intuition. My intuition was telling me things, but I kept overriding it. It was going, you know what? You really should leave LA. Like, LA is really not for you. You don't even like it here. These people are so pretentious. You need to move. It's not you. And your husband, that's not really going to work out. You should, just part amicably. And I'm like, no. Things are going to get better. Like, this negotiation with your intuition is never going to work out. The intuition has the best information for you. So, so my story. And my job, I was like, I always just kept overriding my intuition with, but I'm making such good money. Like, I'm making such good money. And I have a lot of significance. I have a lot of power. Like, I was going to the Pentagon at least 2 times a month. I was talking to the generals. I was, talking to the top military people, the top people in the government as well, not just the military. Like, I had a lot of power. That was kind of fun. That was sexy. It was nice to have my own secretary, too, who just took care of everything. It was fabulous. All I had to do was my zone of genius. That was very intoxicating. And so every time my intuition would go, I really should get out of this situation, I'd be like, no, I got all this stuff going on. So, long story short, one day I woke up, before I even got out of bed, bam, whoo! In came my intuition, and it was not taking no for an answer. And it came in like this eye in the storm. And it said, you know what? Today's the day. You're going to quit your job. You're going to give your husband an ultimatum that things are going to go this way or that way. And, he can pick whatever he wants, if he picks not to stay together, it's okay. No harm, no foul. Let's just call it quits. It didn't work. And you're also going to move from LA. You're going to move up to Northern California into the country, and you're going to find yourself. You're going to get your health back. And guess what? We are not going to tell you what you're going to do next. I was pissed because I'm a planner and I want to know what I'm doing next. And particularly, I want to know where my money's come from, especially since I was used to having so much of it. Now, keep in mind, I had plenty of money in savings. Money was not an issue, but I still wanted to know. My intuition wouldn't tell me. And I'm like, damn you. So then I started down that path of starting to question it, and I just didn't have the will to even question it anymore. I'm like, you know what? You're right. You know what? Today's the day I'm going to hear you. And today is the day I'm going to act on it, because I've tried my way and it's not working and it's never going to work. So I'm going to listen to this. And that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. I went in, I quit my job. There's another story in that, but not today. My husband came home from work. I had the spreadsheet for him. 2 options, pick one. He was a physicist, so spreadsheets are what he needed to see. I know a lot of you are like, why don't you just talk about it? No, he needs a spreadsheet. And I called the moving company. like once I make a decision, I'm ready to rock and roll. I just don't wait around. So that's an example of intuition at play. Like, it was trying to get my attention, and it had my attention, but I didn't want to pay attention. I was like, no, I'm not really listening. La, 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 la. So does anybody have a story like that? Or not, maybe not like that, but of that situation where you have overrode your intuition. And sometimes it's easier to understand or realize that in hindsight. So you may not have even realized it until now. Now, as you're going back in the cobwebs and you're going, oh yeah, you know what, I should have been doing that. That was wow, I overrode that, or I ignored it. There's the ignoring side of things too. And sometimes you don't even see it or hear it. You just don't. You're just oblivious. And then when you have a moment like this and you go back, you go, oh yeah, I was doing that. Yeah, I was just oblivious to that. So if something's coming to mind, just put a hashtag gold in the comments, and then just a little blurb, like, you know, the corporate America story or whatever it was for you. So I think we're hitting home. All right. Now, are you ready for some more questions? Anybody want more questions? Because we are building that muscle. So let's build. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I have so many questions here. I'm trying to pick a really good one for you guys. And actually, I'm using my intuition to pick a question that's going to be good for the group. All right. For your business, what is something that you are doing now that you need to stop doing? Because it's not the right path. It's not the right thing. It's not the right time. Whatever it is, ask your intuition that and see what you come with. Yeah. Great. Okay, we're getting some stories in. So Nancy's saying, I ignored my intuition on the side of a mountain. My husband drugged me up. He had to carry me halfway down. Yes, exactly. Christina, welcome Christina, is saying, a move to SoCal story. Yes, see, they become so clear when we know how to look at them and how to recognize them, right? Okay, Nancy's coming in with her answer to the question, working for nothing or next to nothing. Yes, that needs to stop. For sure that needs to stop, right? So the intuition gives you information, and then so you receive it, then you receive it as you're listening to it, or however you get it. Some people don't hear it. I hear it. But some people get the information. It could just be an impression. It could be an image. It could be, it could be a sound. It could be a feeling, things like that. But whatever it is, it's a knowing. It is a definite knowing. And you're like, the light bulb goes on. You're like, aha, that's it. I know it now. All right. Oh, good. We're having some more. This is great. Thank you guys for sharing, because it makes it so rich for all of us. Okay, so Debbie's sharing, I kept trying, utterly half-heartedly, trying to set up a Microsoft Office training business, but everyone said that you are so good at it and all that experience. But finally now, this January, I knew that my computer niche, which I had been thinking about for 5 years. It's time. Okay. Does that mean it's time to do it now, or it's time to do something else? I'm not quite clear on that, Debbie. I'm sure you are. All right. And Anne is saying buying $197 programs. Oh, yeah. That's an easy trap. And $97 programs are even more enticing. You're like, it's under $100. Boom. I'm clicking buy. Yes. And it's not just that $100. It's all the time and energy and attention and wasted opportunities. It's called opportunity cost, the things that you could have been doing instead of that. And even if you're not doing that program, you're thinking about doing that program and you're stressing yourself out and you're like, oh my God, I got 6 programs. When am I ever going to get to those? And then you lose the focus and you lose a lot. So that's a good one, Ann. Christina's saying, spinning my marketing wheels. Yes, exactly. Marketing can be such a rabbit hole. So you can consult your intuition about best moves, next best steps for you, right? So you have this. Oh, Debbie's saying I didn't read it right. Not my current computer niche. My current niche, making family strong. Yes, as I was reading that, Debbie, I was like, why isn't she talking about the families program? Did she switch back? Now I get it. Yes, Debbie has this incredible program about family traditions that she's developing now, and it's going to take the world on fire. We're going to be watching her on Oprah soon. So just remember, Debbie Cunningham, we'll be seeing her. All right, so questions. Let's ask another question, right? Just let's see. All right, so something that you're contemplating or something that you're doing, just get that into your mind. And we're going to ask, does this align and support my goals? How about that? Yes or no? And then whatever answer you get, you can ask for more information. Okay. So if it doesn't if it doesn't support you, you can kind of just leave that one. But if it does support you, maybe you want to ask more questions about, well, how does it support me? Like, how does this fit in? Like, how important is this? What do I need to know about this? That's one of my favorite questions. What do I need to know? And sometimes I'll even say that I'm not seeing, or that is, beyond my scope of visibility now. Okay, Debbie's asking, what is it called? Nancy's asking Debbie, what is her program called? Yeah. Okay, so fantastic. You guys are doing great. So what I want you to do is to just practice that. Practice it as much as you want, because as I said, as you build that muscle, it will just happen. It just happens automatically. Like me, when the story I told when we first started, where I just went on my walk and boom, here comes the download. Thank God I had my computer with me, or my phone. So keep practicing. And you could get really good at this within a very short amount of time. Like, it could be a few days, it could be a week. Like, you'll just get better and better and better, and then you'll trust it more, and you will value it more, and you will consult your intuition more. This is just, it's priceless is what it is. All right, so we're going to do, okay, no, we're not. We're running out of time today, but we are going to do something else super fun tomorrow. All right, so your homework, keep building that muscle, asking all kinds of questions. And if you want to share anything, by the way, you guys can share in the Facebook Live after it's done, and come back in and type in, what you've done or what your ahas are even after. Okay, so I'm coming over here to, what are we talking about tomorrow? Feminine Money Superpowers again. We actually have 3 of them we're going to go through. We went through the Infallible GPS today. Tomorrow, we're going to go through receiving. And then the next day, we're going to go through community. So we're going to talk about receiving. And what we're actually going to do too is we're going to rewire part of our brain to receive. It is phenomenal. We're going to balance both sides of the brain, and we're going to do a little bit of rebalancing of the nerves. How's that? Got you coming back for more. Okay, so tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and when you're ready to discover your money blocks, which hopefully you're close to that now, if not there, go to mymoneyblocks.com and take that super fun quiz. It's 2 minutes or less, and then you'll get an email with knowing what your money blocks are. And then when you're really ready to eradicate them, I have a program called the Mind Over Money Makeover. And that's a 7-week program to eradicate your money blocks so you can make more money, work less, and live free. Who doesn't want that? Everybody wants that. And that's at mindovermoneymakeover.com. All right, we'll talk to... Oh, wait, Debbie's got something coming in. She's got a little voice, told me to sign up for Ann Bennett's program. And then it said, you don't have the money. Demon came in and shut up. And shut up went away to pay for it appeared. Yes, there you go. That's right. And the little voice celebrates. Yep. Let's see. So she says, the little voice says, celebrate that resources have appeared to enable you to invest in yourself. Have faith you will be able to clear all this debt by the end of the year. Not comfortable, but beats the hell out of last year's horrific misery and constantly saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But not anymore. And thank you to Olympia for being a big piece of that. You are welcome. And Ann Bennett is also helping. Thank you, Ann. So you guys are fabulous. Thank you for being here. If there's anything I can do to help you, please reach out to me, olympia@womenchoosewealth.com, or via Facebook, LinkedIn. You know, I'm there. Not on Twitter, though. Don't do Twitter. Okay, talk to you. Bye.